In 2022, we bought land. We got a tractor soon after moving, and we spent much of the first year clearing and preparing and building. We cleared a garden spot, we built a greenhouse, and we brought home chickens. By the end of that first summer season, we had built a winter chicken coop for them, and we had cleared quite a bit of land to get ready for future gardening projects. We had raised meat birds and we were getting ready to go into our first fall and winter here on Homestead.
Go ahead, but you gotta drag it up.
Being in the country and going into a new year feels a lot different than when we are in the city. We look at the seasons and we look ahead to the coming changes in the seasons before they come. We know and can feel that we need to prepare for winter well before it has come, and the change from December to January doesn't feel like much of a change beyond setting goals and feeling the renewal of a new year. When we go outside, everything stays the same as the day before. Even though there's not a lot to do in the early part of the new year, we like to keep busy. We still like to be outside, even though it can get really, really cold, and we do still get started on some of our projects. Hey Brooks, what are we doing? Do you want to look in? Let's see. We can't open it. Just have to look. Laying breed chickens don't start laying for around 5 to 6 months. So we wanted to get started early this year in January so that we'd have hens ready to start laying sometime around May or June. In January, we also made the decision to buy 2 pregnant sows that would come home in the spring. In February, we found the frame of a mini greenhouse that we wrapped so we could get some of our seeds started indoors. We started tomatoes and peppers, tried starting cabbage and onions, but tomatoes and peppers were the ones that did really well this year. By late February and into March, we started planning and preparing what our shelters would look like for the 2 sows that we were going to bring home in April. We started cutting down more of the standing dead trees on our property, and we built their shelter out of completely wood found here on the property. And on April 3rd, those 2 pregnant sows came home, Delilah and Diana. Hello. coming? They do need more.
We really enjoyed watching them settle in and getting to know some of their behaviors.
Look, she's talking to you.
Diana.
No, she's Delilah.
Delilah.
Can you get it?
Hi, Mike.
Doesn't that make you happy, something you built they're like using?
Wow.
She's like, that's a nice stretching post. Yeah. Yeah, it's like barely moving. Awesome. So cool just to watch them. This is early April 2023. Everything is really wet still, but we started bringing tractor buckets of dirt just from the back of our property, and we're slowly chipping away at pulling out all the roots and everything else that's going along with the dirt so that we can have just dirt. Garden is now complete. We've got 2 rows of peas, and then the 3rd row is gonna be beans. We've got lettuce in this front bed, beets, carrots, and this space in here is empty for now. Gonna do maybe cabbage in there, onions, and potatoes, and peas down here. And that's it. Just waiting for everything to grow now. We found an old garden plow, and we decided to turn much of the front yard into more garden space. It seemed that no matter how much dirt we brought in to try to make it a nice lawn, it just wasn't in the cards for us because a lot of it would wash away, leaving this patchy, clay, hard dirt lawn. It turned out to be the best decision we ever could have made for the front yard, because who needs a lawn when you can have a garden? So we made those 2 long garden beds in the front yard, and then we brought in some of that nice rich soil from the back of our property to try to build it up a little bit before planting. We also experienced a forest fire starting quite close to home. That kind of threw us for a bit of a loop, as we had to decide really quickly what we may have to do. Think they're coming?
See, the first one didn't have lights and sirens on.
Yeah.
At all. She just said, oh, there's a fire truck that went by.
Yeah.
I just thought,
Thankfully, it went the other direction and our property was not affected. Got one? By May, we were able to start getting a lot of our tomatoes and early starts outside, and we also started noticing some of the things that we had planted in April starting to come up.
I was especially excited to see the garlic come up that I had planted in the fall before. Being that it was my first time planting it and I honestly didn't know how it would do over winter.
Up. Actually, most of our pumpkins are up. These are jack-o'-lanterns. So, my plan is to have them all grow across this whole front yard. We'll see if that happens. Last year, my biggest pumpkin was the size of my hand. But so far, they're coming up really nice this year, so I just do weeding wherever I can. Pull out whatever obviously doesn't go here.
By July, the gardens were all in full swing, and it was probably my favorite time of year, getting to see just what we were going to end up with as far as garden harvesting. The tomatoes we started indoors in February did amazingly well in the greenhouse and outside. It was an experiment that paid off because they just did so well, and I was super excited and really proud because it was the first time I started seeds inside that actually turned into really nice plants. And then by the first week of July, we were on baby watch with the pigs. And on July 6th, we welcomed our first baby piglets to our little farm. Delilah farrowed first, and she had 10 little piglets.
Oh yeah, there's a new one biting Darren.
3 days later, on July 9th, Diana had another 10 piglets. We had a pretty bad storm where it got really cold and we even had some hail. And I was really worried going out to check on all the new piglets the following morning. But
what a good mama. Look at you. What a good mama. When it started raining yesterday, she was still laying in that nest, so I don't know at what point she decided she needed to bring them here, but I'm so proud of this mama. What a good mama. I'm gonna go get her some more straw so she can build herself some more nest for these babies.
And of course, the little pigs grew, and we thought it was so cute when they started getting out and wandering all over the yard until they got into our garden. So then we put up all this fencing to try to keep them in, and they started to find ways to get out. But we eventually kept them all in, and they eventually got too big to get out. We dealt with some major flooding on our property this year, and although we had to work to keep the animals dry, we made the best of it, and we obviously made time to have a lot of fun too.
You got mud in your hair?
Like that.
What?
Oh man,
Puddle pass.
I can't believe how stuck he is.
I pulled him up twice now.
Really?
Ready?
I think so. Hold on tight, Charlotte. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's even a bigger mud hole there.
They're gonna go in it. So we had lots of rain over the last few days and lots of flooding, and it's finally all starting to go down now. And the pigs' pen was built up a bit, so they were okay. See me? By the end of summer, we were working away at harvesting everything that was growing in the garden, and we had moved all the baby piglets into their own pen to grow over the winter. We had absolutely zero waste and nothing going into a compost pile this year because we were able to give 99% of what we couldn't use from the garden to the pigs, and they absolutely loved it. They ate really well, probably for a period of 2 whole months, just from all the stuff from the garden that we were giving them.
Look here.
Got hit by hail last night, so it's one of the worst ones. As we know, fall and winter comes next, and we just use this time in fall to get ready for winter by cleaning up the yard, picking up the garden, putting it away, getting it ready so that come spring, when the snow melts, we're able to get working as soon as we can. Yeah. If it started to change, you can cut it. We had an abundance of tomatoes, beets, carrots, potatoes, lots of stuff that I was able to do some canning to get us ready to go into winter, being able to still eat some of our garden fresh produce. Oh my goodness, child. Hold it up to your head.
Hold it up to your head. That's a huge potato. Potato. Oh goodness.
I love cookies. Pokies are actually called roses.
Can't believe how deep the mud is here. Hey, Mama. Hey. Yeah. Or you can just dump it and burn it. Out back. We brought home a young boar sometime in November or December that would grow up here and be part of our breeding. Hi, babies. Scraps, fat, ribs. We have continued to love every minute. We love the work and we love the reward. And every day we get to wake up here and continue working and building, we are thankful to God that we've been given this amazing life here on our little farm.